Hey, welcome everybody. This is John Palmer, Dutch Talk Speed Selling. This is the Raging Verbalist number. What is it? 267. For those who are keeping track. If you're new, welcome. Glad that you're here. If you're a veteran, a grizzled old timer, if you're ready to go, this is great. Raging Verbalist is basically a topic that strikes me that needs to be discussed and put out there. Don't do a lot of politics, but do a lot of other things. And we're available on YouTube and also our Facebook group, which is Position to Win Book, Position to Win Book. And as always, the person who asked me the question is as if they were sitting there like you, is the ever lovely Sandra in a frigid Omaha. So, Sandra, glad that you've thought out and that you're here.
Hello, it's good to be here as always.
And and
Cold,
and
but here.
what are we going to get up to today? You said it was going to be a heat wave.
That's right, a high of 17, as opposed to the other day when it was a low of negative 17. So we're coming around.
Almost short sleeve weather. I got it. Okay.
That's right.
So
That's right.
so what's our topic today?
All right. So is selling obsolete in an AI world? So with that, what is the threat that AI presents to sales professionals?
The biggest threat that AI presents or poses or puts in play is the fact that customers will arrive with a lot of information. They may not have, I wouldn't call it knowledge, but they've gathered all this data and they think they know a lot. So there's a threat to that. People have a tendency to believe that this technology is impervious to making mistakes, and therefore they'll feel like they're well on top of it and know what's going on and try to, debate you and argue and all of that. So that's one of the threats currently about AI. And then the other is that there are some who believe that AI agents, bots, whatever we're going to call them next week, are going to be able to actually handle customer transactions flawlessly, fearlessly, and all of that. Now, that's to be seen. Every single model I've ever seen has very narrow focus, and usually that is okay, but our customers happy, we'll have to see.
And how would we judge the competency of AI in a sales environment?
Well, first off, given the very poor quality, in my opinion, after decades of doing this, sales professionals in general, I mean, we have all these people who are just, they're just not very good at what they do. So when you call them or you talk to them or you see them or you engage somehow, you're not quite sure what you're going to get. And I think so. AI potentially could fix some of these things, but as I've told clients over the years, if you have a question, an objection, something that gets asked all the time, write it out and then write out three answers. One answer would be a short answer, like, not like 900 words, but something short that answers the most basic version of that question. Something that's a little bit longer, which gets into more detail, and then an expansive one, which could be, if you will, a learning capability to bring the client or customer potentially up to speed. AI has the potential to do that. However, currently AI does a lot of the right word is bloviate. It blasts a lot of words out, but doesn't necessarily get to the point. And it also makes mistakes. So you got to be very careful about that.
And given your turnaround experience, what are the various levels of sales professionalism?
Without question, every single client I have ever worked with asks me how they can hire a superstar. Now, I define a superstar as a sales professional who, no matter what the current macro environment is or the market environment is, they're always doing some multiple of the quota that they're assigned. They're selling 100, 200, 500% of quota, and those superstars are going to be out there. Now everybody wants to hire a superstar, but nobody really wants to pay what I call the superstar tax. And the superstar tax is that these people come with baggage, and you're going to have to be able to deal with that. Now you go from there, and I have yet to find anybody who can really build a team off of that. In fact, one of the most famous info marketers, or actually infomercial marketers I ever met in my life, talked about how hard it was to find closers and that he never found more than 8 or 10 at a single time, and he searched the country high and low. When you drop from there to if you will, people who are the over quota crowd. These are solid performers no matter what. They're always 101% and better. And they're always out there and they're plugging along. They never quite hit that superstar level, and they may have some off years, but they're solid performers. Then we have what I call the 80 percenters, and these are those salespeople who get close to hitting 100% of their quota, whatever that might be. But for whatever reason, deals fall out, things don't happen, bad luck, it just seemingly doesn't come for them. And then we have what I call the 60 percenters. By the way, you can build a very solid business off of 80 percenters and 100 percenters. And then you have 60 percenters, which are people who, no matter what they say or how they say it, they're just not there. And then really anybody below that, we'll call them the 40% loser crowd. They're better at selling internally and have more excuses and are usually lousy at what they do. And I always hope that those people go out and find another occupation and quit ruining the world of sales.
And how do entrepreneurs, business owners, and sales managers, excuse me, what do entrepreneurs, business owners, and sales managers need to know if they're going to utilize AI in the sales function?
Well, the first thing is that remember that customers today have a shorter and shorter attention span. All you have to do is watch when somebody is sitting there and they're watching anything like on YouTube shorts are short for a reason. The reason why TikTok is going well, or Instagram, is because it's short, right? People want to have it now. And in fact, you'll even see cuts in 30 seconds because, who could wait the full 30 seconds? So my suggestion is that you gather up all the information that you need to give to somebody so they will make a decision in your favor. That would be to buy something. Use a method which I have taught for years called precision of language, and write that out specifically, and then go through that and trim all the unnecessary, not only words, but syllables, and make sure that you get it as tight as you possibly can. Do that, and then you can use a bot or you can use an agent to project that message. And I think that would have some value of some kind back to people. But really, what the first thing you need to think about is you need to think about this, which is how are you going to make sure that you succeed in this very turbulent, topsy-turvy market? And to that, I have a solution for you. And what you need to do is you need to go out and get this book, my book. Most businesses fail in the first 5 minutes. It just takes them 3 to 5 years to realize that position to win. Every single salesperson, every single customer service person, anybody who touches a customer any way, shape, or form should read this book. And the reason for it is very simple. It isn't that just a business idea fails, it's just that individual parts of your company may fail, or whatever you're doing may fail. So check it out. It's available physically. I'm holding a physical book. You can go to positiontowinbook.com, positiontowinbook.com, and go pick it up, and I will also autograph and sign it. Also, you can go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, wherever books are sold, you can actually ask for it and you can get it that way. And it is available in all the electronic versions, such as Kindle and Nook, and of course, Apple iBooks. So check that out, pick that up. Also, if you have a mind to and you want to learn how to do this better, which is remote work, and this is where remote work has gotten a lot of heat. Well, that's because we didn't sell enough copies of this book. Because if you read this book, you would not have the problems that people are having today doing that. And of course, while you're at positiontowinbook.com, pick up a mug. And this is a Raging Verbalist mug because everything tastes a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit more oomph in a Raging Verbalist mug. All right, Sandra, what is next?
All right, so what is the one stumper question that no one can answer about sales?
I get into sales consulting or get into consulting and I start thinking about how I ask somebody a question. So a stumper question, very briefly, is a question that someone should be able to answer if they're in this field, which we're talking about is sales. And the question I would ask people is, okay, when a lead gets created, now this is where people make a mistake, right? They say sales and marketing. You hear that a lot, sales and marketing. That's the wrong order. S&M is people into pain. No, it's the opposite. We start with marketing and advertising and promotion and public relations. We do all of that. and we generate this precious thing called the lead. And once it becomes a lead, I ask the question, tell me from the point that it becomes a lead, a specific lead, until you move it through the entire sales process and prosecute it to a close, which I call the blessed event. What are the steps that it takes? That sales process is essential. Now, I have worked with software companies, insurance companies, real estate companies, medical clinics, you name all kinds of technology companies. No one can answer that question because they always say the same thing. Well, John, it depends, which my response is simply depends is an adult diaper, and they're selling lots of them. The point of it is that if you don't know the process, applying better and faster technology doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get this thing to get figured out. So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, what are all the steps that I have so I can pick a step and apply technology to that. And if you do that, I think you will get a great bump in that. And I see AI as an adjunct, a bolster, a way to leverage into helping sales professionals and your entire organization getting better at dealing with customers.
And what are some of the steps that you see AI improving the sales process?
Humans love to chunk things up. They like to, take things and kind of jam them all together and, have this kind of combo. All you have to do is go look at a burger with all kinds of layers and stuff. Well, same kind of thing. We got to break it down into its core elements. So it's important to take small steps and not to try to blow it all out. People who say, well, I want to just replace everybody and do this. Big mistake in my mind, because you are going to find out that this is not the way to work it. Find some aspect that you can apply AI specifically to and make that significantly better. Not 10% better, not 20% better, but like, how about 1,000% better, 10 times better, 100 times better? Now that's possible on the smallest pieces of it, which will help the rest of it. How quickly you can get back to a customer, use technology to figure out how to do that. How quickly you can answer the question that you need to answer. That can work out. Giving people a sense of confidence and certainty that you're going to get the job done. It's going to be done on time and done right the first time. You don't know how much money gets burned by people having to do callbacks. And it doesn't matter if you're a plumber, or if you're an IT, or if you're in just about anything. People get pissed off when they have to come back. Happened to me when this year when I bought last year when I bought a car. Took several trips to the dealership to finish all the transaction and all the process. Hey, don't do that. Pisses people off.
And given the current buying experience on the web, is satisfaction going up given that we're adding in AI?
I think that customer satisfaction, I think most of customer service, or that sense of, am I getting this done right, has actually gone down. First off, AI shows great promise of doing things in a blink of an eye. Snap your fingers, it's answered the age-old question. The problem is that expectation setup means that when I'm sitting there, recently I had to deal with an insurance claim. I want to know why this thing took as long as it did. Well, all I can tell you is that all of their technology, all the things that they were trying to put in place, didn't make it faster, didn't make it inherently go and come together like right now, a snap of the fingers, and away you went. So AI has that potential, but my sense is that that's not going to work. Years ago, not that many years ago, I bought a bunch of items that I was going to give away at a seminar. Great. Everybody was going to walk away with kind of a unique, kind of little tchotchke kind of thing. And we bought them sufficient time. And whoops, Amazon said they were on the truck. Amazon said they were coming. They never arrived. Went back to Amazon, tried to call Amazon. Lots of luck, or anybody of these other guys, but try to call Amazon. Now it's 1-800 no dial. And when you talk to them, and I don't know, I don't want to send anybody up to try to dial 1-800 no dial, because don't do that. But what would happen is that we couldn't get a hold of them. When they finally sent an email, they said, oh, no worries, we have refunded you the money. No, where's the package? It was on the truck. It was coming over. We need it for this. Never got it, never got a response. And it was all about, hey, didn't charge you, so you're okay. That doesn't add to my customer service. Does it mean that I won't buy from them? No, but what it means is that I have lower expectations and I have a much more realistic view of this thing.
And what is your final take? Is AI going to eliminate, help, or frustrate customers? And what does the future hold for this?
Well, the interesting thing is that you can't get salespeople to use the tools that are out there already. If you're a sales professional right now, every time somebody calls you, Joe Spadot becomes the lead. Okay, yeah, I don't know if they're, I don't know about the Spadot family, but Joe Spadot becomes the lead. First thing you should do is take Joe and plug him or her, could be, could be a different kind of Joe, and plug them into Google and find out where they are. Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Facebook? Are they on, are they on OnlyFans? Who knows what people are doing today? But you should figure out what's going on. So AI can help salespeople, but I get pitched every single week by AI providers telling me how it's going to make salespeople better. Tools only work when people know how to work them and know how to use them. If you don't know how to do that, it's not going to make it any better. And by the way, doing trivial improvements to emails or sending me a lot more words that people can obviously see are AI generated, I think actually lowers, doesn't raise up the value of whoever you're talking to. So the thing is that you're going to get killed if you don't take AI seriously, which means you have to spend some time to learn about it. More importantly, though, use it as an adjunct to whatever you're doing. Make yourself better, a stronger swimmer, and always remember that being authentic, being real, being sincere, all of those things are key factors to being successful in sales, marketing, and business. If you don't have that, AI will never replace that in the sense that you want to connect with somebody on the other side. One of my favorite things today is to listen to a YouTube video and listen to when the AI voice screws it up. And obviously, whoever produced it never understood that the difference between how one word is pronounced one way or the other based upon its context, AI doesn't know that. So you have people who are talking about tears instead of tears. Funniest thing I've ever seen. So if you're going to use AI, use it smart. Make sure that you don't do something stupid. And more importantly, make sure that you don't put yourself in jeopardy by saying, oops, I let AI handle it. And AI made a commitment because whenever you're selling, you're involved in contracts, negotiation, and money. And trust me, people will come after you if they think they can take advantage. And with that, for myself, John Paul Mendoza, Dr. Speed Selling, and the ever lovely Sandra, being chilling on a very cold day in Omaha. This has been the Raging Verbalist number 267. And until next time, go out there and do what you need to do to sell some more of what you need to sell.